Hello guys, welcome back to Car Obsession and welcome to part 2 of my extensive drive to Cornwall in the new Audi S4 Avant. We rejoin the action in Truro, the county town of Cornwall, and I'm on the hunt for a Cornish pasty and some fudge, which didn't quite go to plan. One thing I've learned very quickly about Truro is that pretty much everywhere on a Sunday is closed. Well, I say that, your big retail giants such as Wilko, there's Wilko in front of me, there's a co-op down there, they're open, but all the small little quirky independent shops, they are closed. So my hunt for some fudge and a Cornish pasty is not quite going to plan. Never mind. Now, before you say, hang on Aaron, the reason why it's so quiet is because of the current coronavirus outbreak. Well, this video was actually filmed back in January, quite a few weeks before the outbreak happened in the UK. So it just turns out that Truro is, well, a little bit quiet on a Sunday. However, with a bit of persistence, I did manage to get my hands on a nice piping hot pasty. Sadly though, no fudge. So that's my short trip in Truro done. I must admit, I'm a little bit disappointed because virtually nothing was open, well, nothing of real interest anyway. I did have a very, very, very nice Cornish pasty. So if you are in the area, Warren's Bakery do a lovely Cornish pasty, best one I've ever had, but no fudge. Pretty much, well, every place that would sell fudge normally was closed, so that's a little bit disappointing. Anyway. That is very much a first world problem, but yeah. If you do want to go to Truro, quick tip for you, don't go on a Sunday. That is my little travel tip for you. So 250 miles left, and my journey back, according to the sat-nav, is exactly 250 miles. This could get interesting. Am I confident I'll make it back? I don't know. To be fair, when I filled the tank up, it said my range was 435 miles, which it shouldn't be. It should be around 500. So I think that bit for the range, maybe, just maybe, I should take that with a pinch of salt. Am I clutching at straws? No, it's too early for me to be clutching at straws, but oh, I don't know. Right, come on. Positive thoughts, Aaron. Positive thoughts. We can do this. So, quick update. According to the trip computer, I have 230 miles left of range, and my journey is 229. I've got 1 mile spare. 1 mile. However, this trip computer, I'm going to take it with a bit of a pinch of salt because I don't know how accurate the range is. Oh, I've got a bit of downhill section. Beautiful. Beautiful. I can lift off for a bit. So according to the fuel gauge, I've still got half a tank, which is good. Theoretically, that should be enough to get me back. Apologies, the audio may be a little bit noisy and there might be a bit of background noise. My clip-on microphone currently isn't on, so you can probably hear a bit more of the tyre noise and a bit more background noise in general, but yeah. I've got a 2 mile buffer now. 2 miles! I've doubled my buffer. Exciting times. But I am doing like 50 miles per hour, so I do need to speed up a bit. I don't want to speed up. Let's get up to 60. I must admit, this does feel like the most ludicrous thing ever. Driving an Audi S4 Avant in this kind of manner. Oh, I've got a 3 mile buffer now. Oh. Don't think I can take any more excitement. bit of a decline, I can lift off for a few moments. Hopefully my momentum will keep me going. The car is pretty much shut off its engine. I'm just coasting. This is good. This is good. I must say, so far my journey back seems to be more downhill than my journey here, which is good. Downhill's good. Downhill is my friend. But I do need to squeeze a bit more power out. Can I get that buffer up to 4 miles? Yes, I can. Yes, just literally ticked over. 230 miles of range left, theoretically, and my journey distance is 226 miles. Come on, let's do this. I've got this. I think, probably, hopefully. So, an update. Things are going well. I have 127 miles left to cover, and according to the trip computer, I have at my disposal 155 miles of range. So I've built up quite a good buffer. Average speed is 52 miles per hour, so a little bit lower compared to my journey to Cornwall. MPG 43.2, and I have covered so far overall 366 miles, and I've been driving for 7 hours and 15 minutes. But do I feel like I've been driving over 7 hours? No, I don't, to be honest. Yeah. This car, you know, the S4 Avant has been, well, I know I've said it a few times, guys. I know you're probably bored of hearing it, but it's just been a very easy-going car. It's just effortless to drive. But that's not to say that it feels docile and it can't excite you, because it can, because the car handles well. Obviously you won't get to see much handling in this video, but I will put in a few clips of B-roll where you can see the car in a more dynamic nature. But this handles really well through the corners. You've got that assurance of the Quattro all-wheel drive. This car, as an optional extra, has got the Quattro with sport differential to give you better traction in the corners, and you can really feel it working. You can feel the system, you know, slowing wheels down to give you better traction and to reduce understeer through the corners. And this is a good handling car, very good in fact. There's plenty of grip, as you would expect from any Audi that's got the Quattro all-wheel drive system. The steering is well weighted, it's direct. As I mentioned earlier, this has got the dynamic steering. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it earlier, but there is an optional extra. Through the corners, the steering, it helps the car feel quite nimble. And this is not a light car, not by any means. For example, I filmed with fellow YouTuber Pocket Rockets yesterday, and he's got the last generation of the previous generation, I should say, of the BMW 3 Series Touring. He's got the 335D, and that is about 200 kilograms lighter than this car. Now, this is a big Audi, so I'm sure many of you will probably think it understeers like there's no tomorrow, but it really doesn't. Don't get me wrong, there have been 1 or 2 times when I've pushed it hard that I have got a bit of understeer initially, but once the car kind of sorts itself out, you know, it's able to give itself a tighter line and be more direct in its approach. So that I'm really satisfied with. To be honest, there's not really much about this car I don't like. The only thing I can really think of right here, right now, are those bloody fake exhaust pipes. From a practicality point of view, it's not the most practical, to be honest. The boot offers 420 litres, which is okay, but it's not the biggest you'll get from this class. So if you want something a bit more practical, then this may not be the estate for you. But space in the rear is good, even for my height. I'm 6'2". When I've got the driver's seat set for me, I've got a good amount of knee room and leg room,
and I've got more headroom than I was expecting as well. So I have been pleasantly surprised about the rear space, because I thought it was going to be quite cramped and claustrophobic. Don't get me wrong, I think you'd struggle to fit 3 people in the back, because you've got quite a thick transmission tunnel running through the middle of the car. So really, I'd say this is more of a 4-seater. Right, 124 miles left. 2 hours and 32 minutes. The light is beginning to fade, and we are soon to descend into darkness. I have some news. You join me in a petrol station, because I've made it! I've made it! Ha 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 ha! I'm back at the same petrol station that I started at this morning. So yes, I have done it. The S4 has done it. So yeah, I'm quite impressed. So in total, I have covered 491.2 miles to be precise. Been driving for a total today of 10 hours and 6 minutes. But you know what? This car has lapped it up. It really has. In fact, my journey back, I didn't stop once. That's how comfortable and but basically what I'm trying to say is, despite being on the road non-stop for 5 hours, as you can probably tell from my demeanour, I'm kind of full of energy. I'm not tired. I'm not cramped. Well, sorry, I haven't got any cramp. So I've been very impressed by the kind of long range capability of this car, bearing in mind it is a sportier model. So according to the trip computer, I have 30 miles. That's a bit annoying. And I tell you what, I'm going to unplug my smartphone. According to the trip computer, I've got 30 miles. Be quiet. I've got 30 miles of range left. Average speed for today was 50 miles per hour. MPG 44.5. So let me get my little camera out so I can show you. Oh, I look forward to having some dinner. There we go. 44.5 MPG. Average speed 50 miles per hour. On the road 10 hours 7 minutes, and covered 491.2 miles. There we go, look at that, and 30 miles spare. Probably a bit more, because these computers, they probably exaggerate things a little bit so you don't get caught short. But yeah, at the petrol station, gonna fill up, not fill the tank right up, but gonna put some diesel in, and yes, happy days. Right, so more diesel has been put in, and after what has been quite a long day, it is time for me to finish. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If so, be sure to like, subscribe, and to ring my bell so you get notified every time I make a video. But guys, until the next time, be sure to keep up the car obsession.